You're listening to Live LIXX on Ocean 98.
That's right, Live LIXX on Ocean 98. Live LIXX is brought to you by Secrets Jamaica USA, 49th Street and the Bay. Come on out and check them out today. It looks like the bad weather has passed us over. It's Tuesday, August 29th, and live performances tonight from opposite directions. They were slated to perform out on the pier. I do believe they've been moved inside to the Tiki Bar. Hometown Radio later tonight with DJ Tuff at the Tiki Bar as well. Entertainment for Tuesday, August 29th. Don't forget, more entertainment tomorrow. Bobby O in the Bay at 11 a.m. Full Circle out on the pier. And Element K with DJ Davey in the Tiki. You're listening to Live LIXX right here on Ocean 98. Good evening, Manny.
Hi.
How are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. We're in the studio with a guy who
are.
Yeah, he is a guy. You've already met him. He goes by Brad Cox. I was reading some bio information on him earlier today, and I was excited when I realized that he was a part of the foundation of a band called We Love the Underground. Hi, Brad. How you doing? I'm doing really good. I'm sorry. Try that again.
I'm doing really good. How you guys doing?
I'm doing well. Doing bio work on somebody, it's fun. Like, cause with your current projects, and excuse me if I get these a little bit wrong. You got Schizo, Calypso, and
that was like the OG.
Okay.
Yeah.
Give us the rundown of your projects and where we are now.
Well, how much time do we have?
Well, let's go for it. We
right.
got plenty of time to do an interview today.
I started Schizo Calypso in 1998, and that was after coming on the heels of like going out to Los Angeles to try to become a rock star. Obviously, that didn't quite pan out because I was 18 years old and I had no money, and I basically had to come home because I had no money. But anyway, I came home, started recording the first record, which was Join the Cult, and then, fast forward 12 more records, We Love the Underground was born.
Right. What year did We Love the Underground come online?
It came online about 2009.
Okay.
So, and then it became live in 2013. And so from 2013 to about 2018, we played a lot of shows. And I was in here quite a few times.
Right. A big shout out to Marla.
Yeah.
And the Sand Jam. And that's what I was trying to, because I know you from We Love the Underground, but I wasn't familiar that you used to come perform on the sort of the precursor to Live LIXX, which was Marla and the Sand Jam here at Ocean 98.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool.
It was a great time.
Yeah. Now, what I have a hard time understanding is putting you in a category, and I love to put people in categories. The Schizo Calypso is what it sounds like it is. It's sort of
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the almost gimmick of the whole thing was like every album was going to be completely different. So you had a punk record, you had an alternative rock record, you had an industrial record, you had a record that was like all those things into like a soup. And then it just like became this thing that we're like, okay, so this is our angle, because it started when I was so young that I didn't know who I was. So one minute I wanted to write a funk song. Next minute, I wanted to write an industrial song. So it just kind of snowballed, and that became the thing.
Now, so your background is primarily in Baltimore City, or well, give us the rundown on where you grew up around here.
Actually, north of Baltimore in Bel Air, Maryland.
Okay.
Harford County. So, and then there was obviously the brief stint in Los Angeles, and I'm back. I'm back settled in Bel Air.
Okay, cool.
So it's about 2.5 hours out.
Right now, I know with We Love the Underground, that was sort of. I mean, we were talking about that earlier. In the late teens of the 2000s, there was a lot of energy coming out of Baltimore, a lot of original music, a lot of composition, a lot of singer-songwriters not doing cover tunes and coming and making originals and bringing them all around for everyone to hear. And what happened to We Love the Underground? Is it still a band?
It just kind of imploded. It ran its course. There's kind of like this glass ceiling that you can hit as an original band, where it's like you're opening for all these national bands, you're doing all this really great stuff, but you start wanting to go further, and if you can't like actually get in a bus and go tour, there's a lot the options become more limited. And I think people that were in the band started wanting to do different things, and
yeah, people get older, their priorities
exactly
change.
Right.
And so, but you resurfaced with a band that you call, or I don't want to call it a band, I view it as a project. What little I know about it, it's called Veteran Avenue. Can you tell us about that a little?
Yeah, Veteran Avenue was kind of spawned from all those albums and all those years of working with all these different people. I got the idea, like, I wanted to record an album where I brought all of those people and had them on the same record. So that first record, Dissonance and Discord, it features 25 other local artists. And basically the formula was I would write the song, And then I would say, okay, well, this guy would be really cool on drums on this song.
Okay.
This person would be really cool on the leads. Like if it was a bluesier tune, I might bring in a more bluesier guy on the leads or whatever.
Is there any luminaries that we might recognize that are on the album?
There's a couple guys that used to play Secrets all the time. The John Maurer trio
Yeah,
with
we know
Todd
John
Boyle
Maurer.
and Brian Rumbley.
Yeah.
They're on there, but there's probably tons. But I just, thinking offhand,
Right.
I don't know who you've had versus,
Well,
who's on there.
I just meant people listening here in the Mid-Atlantic region that would recognize giving a shout out.
Yeah.
That's good. John Maurer's a good answer.
Yeah.
You hit the nail.
He's
on the
awesome,
head.
man. He's with Kelly Bell now.
Yeah.
Just saw him at the Main Street Music Festival in Ellicott City this past Saturday.
Yeah, that was a
They're-
big one. Sweet Lita, Kelly Bell.
Yep.
I saw that whole lineup. That was fun. Did
Yeah.
you perform there?
I did. And, at one point I'm looking out and there's John Maurer and he's like, nodding his head along. I was like, all right, I got his approval. I'm good.
There you have it. We're talking with Brad Cox. You can find out about him online. What is your official website? Because it redirects all over the place.
It does. BradWilliamCox.com.
Okay, BradWilliamCox.com.
COX.
Oh, that's Cox with an X, people. We're going to find out more about stuff he's got going on as a solo artist. We're going to find out about the books he's written, and we're going to talk a little bit about his podcast when we come back. But here he is for his first of many songs. It's Brad Cox. You're listening to Live LIXX right here on Ocean 98.
Got your pain echoing across USA. State of mind, you're living for the day. Sold it all for a chance to kiss your maker. I'm the devil in disguise, just like your mother savior. Love sick and sorry. Love sick and sorry. Found myself with a hole in the divine. 1 foot dragging in a grave with an open mind. I saw hell before I ever saw her eyes. If the pretty things will kill you, I won't make it home tonight. I'm love sick and sorry. Love sick and sorry. Right now, because it's going around this town. We're love sick and sorry while the doctor's passing medicine out all around. I watch a gamble turn a bank and when his luck and split, chips were down and out. We're love sick and sorry, getting lucky on what loving's about. Caught a wink from a younger girl's eyes. Had to check if that woman's really blind. Been around longer than twice she's been alive. If she wants to take a ride, keep the pace and make her mine. Love sick and sorry. Love sick and sorry. Poured a drink at the poorhouse in New Orleans. Watch her rise and sun melt into the sea. For a price, you'd get more than you can swallow. You can sell your soul. Buy back to my own love, sick and sorry. Love, sick and sorry. Right now, because it's going around this town. We're love, sick and sorry while the doctor's passing medicine out all around. I watch a gamble turn a banker when his luck had split and chips were down and out. We're love, sick and sorry, getting lucky on what loving's about. And this fever's burning up my bed. And I don't believe a single word she says. 'Cause I'm a wanderer coming round the bend. Still we're lying here wasting all our tears in countless years. So sing it again. We're love sick and sorry. Love sick and sorry. Love sick and sorry. Love sick and sorry. Right now, now, 'cause it's going around this town. We're love sick and sorry while the doctor's passing medicine out all around.
down. I watched a camel turn up back in when his locket split. Chips were down in out. With love sick and sorry, getting dizzy when life was about.
You're listening to Live LIXX on Ocean 98.
On August 30th and August 31st, come out to Beach Barrels in North Ocean City for Rob Benton. This is a ticketed event, $8 at the door at Beach Barrels in North Ocean City. Beach Barrels, your rock and roll destination at the beach.
Patty Jean's Boutique, 67th Street, Town Center in Ocean City offers the most impressive collection of clothing, home decor, jewelry, and gifts. Open at 10 a.m. with new arrivals daily. Patty Jean's Boutique, Ocean City. Find them on Facebook and Instagram.
Salty dog, Buxy's salty dog. Come on down to Buxy's salty dog.
Buxy's Salty Dog Saloon for lunch, dinner, or happy hour. A great place to hide your bone at 28th Street.
Come on down to Buxy's salty dog.
Hi, I'm Kebby, owner of Hit the Deck Patio. For over 30 years, we have been providing high-quality, American-made outdoor furnishings. We have a lot of inventory in stock, or we can custom order. Open every day except Sunday from 10 to 4. HitTheDeckPatio.com.
Catch all of the O's action at the Sterling Tavern in downtown Berlin. During every game, enjoy $12 Baltimore dogs topped with beer, cheese, crab meat, Old Bay, $15 crab cake sandwiches, and $12 Miller Lite or Yingling pitchers. The Sterling Tavern, Main Street in Berlin, Maryland.
Free concert this Thursday at Sunset Park. OCDC is back with another Sunset Park party night. Come out this Thursday for Ocean City's own Full Circle. Bring your favorite chair, and they'll bring the drinks, including beer and wine, to benefit youth programs in Ocean City. It's Full Circle this Thursday at Sunset Park, South Division Street on the Bay in downtown Ocean City. The party kicks off at 7 p.m. Sunset Park party nights are proudly brought to you by the OC Development Corporation in the town of Ocean City. For more information, visit ocdc.org.
Live music right here, right now on Ocean 98.
That's right. We're in the studio with the artist Brad Cox. This hour of music, live music, brought to you by Secrets and the businesses on the Secrets campus, including the Secrets Distilling Company. Head to secretsdistilling.com to find out all about the Prohibition-era themed distillery. Secrets Distilling Company, 40-plus awards for all its different spirits they make, whether it's you're talking about the lemon drop vodka, the grapefruit vodka, the bumbleberry vodka, handcrafted clear vodka, that's my favorite, coconut rum, white rum, handcrafted gin, the limited release American whiskey, the bourbon whiskey, Jamaica Blue Mountain Coffee spiced rum. That's my second favorite.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, that's good. You know what I find with the secret spirits? A lot of them, the spiced rum, the bumbleberry, they're good over vanilla ice cream.
Ooh.
Have you ever done that before?
No, but now I'm gonna go home and do that.
It is. I used to always stop in the duty-free shop when we're flying in from outside the country and get Godiva chocolate liqueur.
Yeah.
And that's where I learned that too. It's like, you're late at night.
Amazing.
You're like, I want a treat, but I don't want to get all bent out of shape. But
Yeah.
some vanilla ice cream and a little bit of sweet liqueur on there.
Yeah.
Yum yum num num num.
Know what I'm doing tonight now.
Check it out online. Secretsdistilling.com. They have tours of the facility. Their handy dandy tour booking tool tells me that tomorrow, Wednesday, August 30th, half the tours are filled, half the tours are available. Head online to secretsdistilling.com. We're in the studio with the artist Brad Cox. Go to Brad. I said I wasn't going to talk to you, but I'm going to now. Your websites are confusing. What's the way?
BradWilliamCox.com.
BradWilliamCox.com. That's Cox with an X. Here he is, Brad Cox. You're listening to Live LIXX right here on Ocean 98.
Well, I want you to bed. No girl like you should ever look so sad. Can't get your vision from my dreams. She stopped and looked at me and said, gonna make a scene. Well, I want you passed down next to me. Loaded up on vodka in my backseat. Your mama told you don't say a thing. She stopped and looked at me and said, gonna make a scene. Boy next to me. I'm gonna be your queen. Wanna hear you scream. Gonna make a scene. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Come on. What you want to surrender to me. Make me those promises I can't believe. Wanna get lost in your fantasy. She stopped and looked at me and said, gonna make a scene. Boy next to me. I'm gonna be your queen. Wanna hear you scream. Gonna make a scene. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Come inside. Come inside. It'll be alright. Come to my door. You can sleep on my floor. It'll be alright. Yeah. She stopped and looked at me and said, gonna make a scene. Boy next to me. I'm gonna be your queen. Wanna hear you scream. Gonna make a scene. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Come inside. Come inside. It'll be alright. Come to my door. You can sleep on my floor. It'll be alright. Yeah. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Ocean 98.
All right, that's Brad Cox, excuse me. Brad Cox has a lot of interesting stuff going along. Aside from being an accomplished musician, what's fascinating me mostly about you today, Brad, sorry. I keep wanting to call you Mike Cox, and it's screwing my brain up.
That's okay, man. I've been called worse.
Brad Cox, Brad William Cox, coxwithanx.com. I'm going to read a quote that you put up on the internet on April 3rd. Special announcement. It's been a long time coming, but I've been quietly and studiously working on a new book. It'll include lyrics, poetry, sketches, and other musings, and will drop in the coming months. I'm also happy to announce that I've procured the cover art from Barbara Ingersoll, shout out Barbara Ingersoll, who was featured on a couple of the Schizo Calypso albums. For 25 years, I've been lucky enough to release more than 24 albums under various names and participate in other musical projects. During that time, I've written a lot of lyrics and songs. This book will provide background context and other previously unreleased content. Congratulations on getting the book out.
Yeah,
Thank
congrats.
you. Thank you very much. I actually stopped at Caprico's Books in Berlin on my way over. They were always really supportive, and if you've never checked it out, definitely check them out. But yeah, this is kind of a labor of love. It's been in the works for, I don't know, I guess 25 years at this point.
Wow.
Okay, so that's a long time for a project, but I respect that because sometimes you put a project out there, and is that your wife, Lisa Cox?
Yes.
You also give her a shout there. My wife doesn't get this. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do this, but it might take me 20 years to get it done.
Right.
And it seems like that's one of those projects. You had it out and about. You put it on the shelf. You pulled it back down. Give us the story.
Yeah, so it was basically like the project already kind of existed, right? So all the albums were already out there. It was a matter of like really compiling. So I compiled all the songs, put them into categories, and then in the chapter headers, I explained what those songs were about, what was going on at the time. And that's kind of what became the book. And then there was songs that had never been released. There was artwork that had never been released. Right. So I wanted to share some of that for it was really for the fans, the people that have been following my music this whole time.
So almost like a kind of behind the music with in book form.
Basically.
I need to know more.
Yeah.
Can you give us an example of something? Is that too difficult?
No, I mean it's just it's lyrics and poetry and musing. So, you know, if you want to know like why certain songs were written, you can go pick up the book, and you know, if you're a fan of me and what I do, then you'll appreciate it. I think.
Cool.
Okay, so we were talking about that, and I had started my journey on Amazon. You should really check out Brad's website, Brad William Cox with an X, or his social media, Brad Cox. He's the guy that works. Are you still the ticketing marketing manager at Hartford Community College?
I am still the ticketing and marketing manager.
That Brad Cox, the one at Hartford Community College, and you can find him on the internet. But when I was out there at the Amazon checking out your book, you've got some other stuff going on. You've got multiple books you've written. I've lost my way on the internet. You'll have to help us.
Yeah, so there's the Children of the Program books.
Okay.
They're all novels. The first book, actually, We Love the Underground wrote a soundtrack to that book, which was like really a cool experience, because now you're basically putting like an audio soundtrack to a book.
Oh, that's different. That's cool.
It is interesting.
Yeah.
And how? And when did this get released? When did this all come out?
2015 was the first book. I think the record followed up in 2016, and then there was the second book, Edge of the Fifth Sun, and that had an EP that went along with it. And then the final book, A Immortal, there was never a soundtrack for that particular one, but it was still really cool to finally finish up the story.
This is sort of dark material, like
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like,
It's a
no, I'm not. I'm trying to express this so that people can understand what this is. This isn't like a sappy sort of lovey-dovey sort of like children's thing. This is a man's journey through music.
Yeah. What genre would you classify these books?
I usually say occult fiction.
Okay.
Like if you're into like I was raised in a very religious household, and so a lot of those themes kind of intersect into the book. But it's about these 12 individuals who are sent from hell or purgatory to kind of go back and get it right. And by getting it right, they have to find somebody and they have to procreate, and that becomes a child of the program. And that's like spiritual enlightenment through these children.
Very cool.
Book 2 follows the kind of the journey of those children. And then book 3, the government wants to get involved because the government always wants to get involved.
Damn
right?
government.
Yep.
And they start trying to get in on the game. So that's kind of the premise of the book. But like, it was one of those things where it's like, I had to finish writing it to tell the whole story. And after the second book, I was burnt out. It takes a lot of time to write a book. There's no fantasy about like sitting at a Starbucks and it just magically coming to you. That doesn't exist, right? So you have to plan. I look like, who's the guy from Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
Oh, that's a great show.
Charlie?
Yeah. Charlie's one guy from that show.
That's what my bedroom looks like. Me just trying to figure out like where all the pieces go, like the yarn and the tacks. And,
yeah, Charlie.
So that's what writing a book is.
So if you're interested in finding out more about Brad Cox, his music and his books, check out the Amazon search for Brad W. Cox with an X, and check out Children of the Program, Edge of the Fifth Sun, Children of the Program, Immortal, and what's this Wanted 2? Is that just an erroneous thing that pops up on your thing?
Maybe so. It's Children of the Program, Edge of the Fifth Sun, and Children of the Program, A Immortal.
Yeah. Cool. Let me ask you a question. I don't know if you're prepared for this. Is there a song that you can play now that kind of ties in with the themes that you discuss in the books? Is there one? Can you give us one?
Not really offhand, because those songs were like mammoths. They were like I'm trying to think of like a proggier anthems, like 12-minute tunes.
Oh, okay.
Not fitted for the acoustic, or they were like literally soundtrack songs. Like the first like 3-minute song is just nothing but strings and ominous sounds. So it wouldn't be the kind of thing that would really translate well to the acoustic.
Ooh, I had it. This is just a very personal question. Earlier today, when Maddie came in, we were discussing the merits of different types of oatmeal. We were talking about the ground up oatmeal. We were talking about ground up.
We have a lot of strange conversations here, on air and off air.
We have our pulse on our thumb on the pulse of the nation. We were talking about a processed oatmeal, instant oatmeal. We were talking about rolled oats, and then I was telling you how I like cracked oats or steel cut oats. And I was listening to We Love the Underground. And at the end of We Love the Underground, you have a weird little like. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And you're talking about lumpy oatmeal, and I was like, how coincidental is that? What the heck are you talking about?
Well, the end of each album, We Love the Underground album always had like one of those like kind of like ridiculous tracks. Like at the end of the first album was that kind of like flamenco style guitar acoustic kind of thing. The end of the second album was a jazz track. The end of the third album was that 12-minute song that was just like a mammoth. So, and those were kind of like nods back to Schizo Calypso. Like, I haven't forgotten how to be creative and do like this wacky, wild stuff. But that's what that was.
Okay.
And then, you know what, we haven't talked about this yet, and we do have to get back to music, but your primary thing now, your artistic outlet now is Brad Cox solo, or what? How do we find Brad Cox? Where do we see him play?
It got to the point where I was on vacation in Myrtle Beach back in July, and I realized I hadn't been really playing out live as much as I would like because my bands kind of fell apart during COVID, and there's other dynamics there, like 2 of the guys have 3 kids each. It's very difficult. It's like herding cats to put on a show.
Right.
So I just told myself, I said, you know, this time next year, I want to be out there just doing the solo acoustic thing. And so I can get out there playing again. And that's literally when I reached out to you. And like, literally, that was like 3 weeks ago. And I was sitting here, and it's wild.
Yeah.
So yeah, solo acoustic's kind of the direction I'm going right now. And, you know, there'll be Schizo reunions for those people and underground.
Well, give him a like, give him a follow, check him out online, buy his book, and listen to him play music right here, right now. It's Live LIXX between 5 and 6. You're listening to Ocean 98.
But I don't wanna be a stepping stone. Didn't wanna face this world alone, but I don't wanna be a stepping stone. 'Cause you're never gonna find it till you're on your own. He drove 1,000,000 miles to find me, but the crows are waiting with a heart of mine. Set a fire to a sky could have set you free. If you can only burn what you believe. I paid a blind man in Arizona. You point the way, said save a change for any day. He never thought to ask if I had a lot. Sometimes a rolling stone rolls on by. But I don't wanna be a stepping stone. Didn't wanna face this world alone. But I don't wanna be a stepping stone. 'Cause you're never gonna find it till you're on your own. My pockets are heavy when the storm rolled in. Go to turn the cheek, could have let you in. But some of the bitterness is all you know. The ground ungarden, the dead flowers grow. I watch the tide come in and the turn. With the blood in the water, guess you live and learn. The stage is a crowd when you feel alone. And the sharks come to feed when you head back home. But I don't wanna be a stepping stone. Didn't wanna face this world alone, but I don't wanna be a stepping stone. 'Cause you're never gonna find it till you're on your own. On your own. On your own. You're on your own. On your own. There's no stairway up to heaven. There are no hands reaching down. God helps those who can help themselves. If you're lost, you're never found. There's no highway back from hell. If you drove this far, you know I wish you well. But if you've come to climb the trees I planted, I'll chop my forest down. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The tougher the love, the weaker the bones. The tear down the walls of your broken home. When all you need is a reason to live. A walk to the sunset with nothing to give. I've been waiting for you when love come to town. Hoping you found your heart on the ground. Felt so deep that you knocked on the door of the devil as Mr. Jones, keeping score. But I don't want to be a stepping stone. Didn't want to face this world alone, but I don't want to be a stepping stone. 'Cause you're never going to find it till you're on your own. You're on your own. On your own. On your own. On your own.
The Entertainment Connection. Brought to you by Delmarva's premier pre-owned outlet, The Car Store.
For Tuesday, August 29th, check out Rob Barbarita Duo at the Bethany Boathouse. Big Chill Surf Cantina has DJ Woody B. Tony Baltimore will be at Bourbon Street on the beach. Over at Maggie's Bayside Bar and Grill, it's Titan Bright Theme Night. At Pickles Pub in downtown Ocean City, Beats by Wax. The Purple Moose Saloon on the Boardwalk features International Night EDM with DJ Madam Duchess. At Secrets, 49th Street in the Bay, it's Bobby O on the Bay, Blake Haley, DJ Davey, and Hometown Radio. At the Wedge in downtown Ocean City, check out Brian Dorsey. That's your entertainment for Tuesday, August 29th, right here on the Best of Rock. It's Ocean 98.
The Entertainment Connection is brought to you by The Car Store, thecarstoreonline.com.
Hey, it's Barry from Bourbon Street on the Beach, North Ocean City's music mecca. We have happy hour music live on our deck daily from 4 to 7, and the best bands on the big stage nightly. Follow us on Facebook for our nightly entertainment lineup. Come for the food, stay for the music, bourbonstreetonthebeach.com.
5-Star Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Services offer air purification and filtering, water heater repair or replacements, and gas fireplaces. We are a York certified comfort expert specializing in repair and replacement of all brands of heating and AC equipment. 888-785-8088.
It's time to road trip around Maryland's coast and get outdoors. Maryland, open. Discover the natural beauty and serene landscape of the Pocomoke River State Park. View the wild ponies of Assateague Island National Seashore. Explore the rich history at the local museums. Shop and dine at the downtown areas of Snow Hill, Pocomoke City, Berlin, and Ocean Pines. Or plan to create exciting memories throughout Ocean City. Looking for outdoor adventure? We have it all in Worcester County, from golf courses to water sports and bike trails. Learn more at visitmarylandscoast.org.
Get wild at Barn Hill Preserve. Up close and hands-on encounters with over 35 species. Swim with otters, hop around with kangaroos, hang out with sloths. Only 15 minutes away from Ocean City and Bethany Beach. Barn Hill Preserve. The world of animals is waiting for you.
On August 30th and August 31st, come out to Beach Barrels in North Ocean City for Rob Benton. This is a ticketed event, $8 at the door at Beach Barrels in North Ocean City. Beach Barrels, your rock and roll destination at the beach.
This live performance is brought to you by The Secrets Distilling Company, online at secretsdistilling.com.
And that's right, Secrets Distilling. We've talked about them. And what are you're making all sorts of noise over there.
Me?
Yeah.
I made a noise.
You made a noise. I did apologize. I sneezed at the very end of that song. So embarrassing.
It was kind of funny.
I was holding it. I kept wandering around.
It was just like the ending note was your sneeze.
I hope it didn't screw up the recording. I
know. I'll have to look at it later and see.
I could hold it no longer.
I know. It was just perfectly timed. I think it was a work of art.
He might put it in the new recordings.
Yeah.
You're listening to Live LIXX. Live LIXX is brought to you in part by Secrets Jamaica USA, 49th Street in the Bay. As we wind up the month of August, today, Tuesday, August 29th, come down, check out Bob and Darren. They're performing inside on the Tiki stage. They moved them off the pier due to inclement weather conditions. Hometown Radio later tonight with DJ Tuff in the Tiki Bar. Tomorrow at Secrets, Wednesday, August 30th. Bobby O kicks things off at 11 a.m. out on the Bay. Bobby O on the Bay. Full Circle Duo out on the pier, and Element K with DJ Davey later in the night. Thursday, August 31st, the last day of August.
I know, it's so crazy.
It seems like the whole summer. I mean, we've been together all summer.
Yeah.
And it hardly seems like
no,
it
feels like it's been a few weeks for just hanging out in here.
Yeah, or Little Friday, a.k.a. Thursday, August 31st. Come on down to Secrets for DJ Bobby O kicking things off in the Bay. If you haven't done a day in the Bay at Secrets Jamaica USA, make Thursday your day. Celebrate August in its entirety with John McNutt, Element K, DJ Conair, and DJ Davey. This information and more available online at secrets.com, which brings us back to our guest tonight, Brad Cox, in the studio, in from Hartford County. Many different ways to catch up with his creative spirit. Music from a variety of bands, Schizo Calypso, We Love the Underground, The Project, Veteran Avenue, and his book series, Children of the Program. Very interesting.
Yeah.
So many people would not stray into the waters that you strayed into there with that, because I can see how I mean, you said you were a religious guy, or at one point were.
Well, I was raised in a religious household. That's how I ended up in Hollywood, right? So
I don't know what that means, but it seems funny.
well, it's what it sounds like. I just had to find myself, but I was a journalism major, and that's kind of what I did. And then I ended up in the sales world at the Baltimore Sun, and I never really got to be a journalist. So I always really wanted to write.
Right. That's,
and that became the impetus.
Computer or longhand? What's your style?
Computer.
Okay.
There are those people that literally write their books out and then they type them later. I think that's remarkable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you and I are both from the era when having a computer. See, you Matt, you're the new gen.
Yes.
I've had a computer at my disposal for quite some time. However, it made more sense to write things longhand in the beginning. Like, you have books somewhere written, don't you, Brad or Matt? Do you have a Maddie of?
Yeah.
Like,
no,
letters?
I've always been a handwriting kind of person. I like when I was in school and you could have a laptop and type your notes. I don't process information unless I physically write it down.
Right. It slows things down when you use your handwriting. I think maybe more time for the creative juices to flow.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting.
But as technology progresses, different people roll with the punches different ways.
Yep.
You have a podcast, Brad?
I do have a podcast. That started as kind of a labor of love back during the COVID era because the bands were kind of falling apart, like I was saying. But I had just so many years of playing live, and I knew all these different people, and I figured this would be a really good way to, I don't know, scratch again that journalistic itch, get these people in, but also to give a platform to younger artists to promote themselves as well. So it started off, I felt like I had no idea like how to do this. Like I don't know. I didn't even listen to podcasts, but my wife was like, "You're doing a podcast." I'm I'm not doing one.
Is your wife a techie?
No.
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 Okay.
She's a painter.
Okay. All right. I just wondered. I wondered if maybe she was
but
rigging up wires for you and getting you going.
No.
Yeah.
But she's just like you. You have a lot of contacts. You have a lot of experience doing a lot of different things. You should try it. So I tried it, and the first couple episodes are like your first album or your first book. It's like it's.
Well, what year did you start your podcast?
That started in June of 2020. So
okay, so it's fresh.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's about 125 episodes now.
Okay, but you're diligent. What's the podcast called?
Mouthful of Graffiti.
Okay, Mouthful of Graffiti. I haven't seen it yet. I only stumbled upon your podcast today. And I was like, well, isn't that interesting?
It's named after the second We Love the Underground album. There's always like ties in there, you know?
Right.
And so what's the outline of your podcast? What do I expect from an episode?
It's basically local mid-Atlantic artists. It could be musicians. It could be actual painters. It could be authors. And I'll stretch out beyond that too. Like I've had some guys on, like Bumblefoot referred me to some guys in Southern Israel. He's like, these guys are really cool. So I don't strictly stick to mid-Atlantic, but that's kind of the main nucleus of the whole thing. I have had some great artists on, Jimmy Haha, Kelly Bell. So John Allen from Stone Horses. Sure. So just it's just kind of a labor of love at this point.
So just audio, I take it? Or do you do video? I'm asking because some people do the video stream along with the audio stream.
I haven't got that technologically ahead of myself for that.
Right.
There's studios that you can rent, and I did one episode in one of those studios, but no, it's just audio.
All right. Cool. What kind of equipment do you use?
I use Zoom 8.
Okay.
And I use Hindenburg. It's very intuitive.
I don't know Hindenburg.
It's basically
software?
Yeah, it's like Pro Tools for complete like you don't have to have any knowledge of recording or anything.
Simplified editing suite.
Very intuitive. Like if you want it to be louder, you just grab it and move it up.
Oh, and it integrates with your Zoom 8.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a perfect setup. And then I just use some SM58s at this point. I mean,
sure.
Mine's an SM55. And like the old Elvis mics, just for aesthetic, really, not really for sound.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We're doing Gear Talk with Brad Cox. You can check out his podcast. It's called, once again, Brad?
Mouthful of Graffiti.
Is it available on all the iTunes?
Yeah, so you basically upload it to like Buzzsprout, and then they farm it out to everybody.
Right.
So.
That's cool. So now I don't want to embarrass you, and I don't want to take this the wrong way. But how many followers? How many have you accrued downloads? Are you getting traction? Because that's the hardest part.
No, it's a fair question.
Yeah.
It has been going up. The only real metric I can see is through Buzzsprout, or if I go to the individual channels themselves. Like if I go to Spotify, Podcasters for Spotify, or whatever it is, I can see some numbers there. but not all of them you can see. So you don't really know. So if I'm out there selling advertising on it, they're like, well, how many listeners do you have? And I'm like, I have no idea because it's only 20 different platforms and only one or two of them actually provide metrics.
Yeah.
So it does get a little bit tricky on that front.
It's frustrating. I've noticed since the pandemic specifically, I'm going to pick on someone in particular, Michael Fronte. He's this artist who comes through here. And I see these guys all starting their podcasts. And I don't want to say the heyday of podcasts is behind us, but it's funny to see these people that, that sell millions of albums. And then their traction on their podcast, it's just, I'm not saying that his isn't that way, but you would think he'd maybe have millions of followers on his podcast, but it's just not that way. I think there's just so much out there. It's like,
it's a long game.
Yeah.
You have to, I mean, I've seen podcasts come and go, this is the new hot one and then it's gone.
Yeah.
So it's like local music in a sense. Like it's the branding over time.
Yeah.
Like Schizocalypso, if you take a band like that, it's like, it really only got really good from like 2006 to 2014. But that front era was just like, it was all the shows and the branding that kind of made up for like some of the bad shows, right?
Right.
So you have to kind of you just got to grow through it.
It's true. We're talking with Brad Cox. He's a multifaceted artist. He's got books. He's got podcasts. He's got multiple bands. He's a solo artist. He works at the college. What do you do at the college?
I am in the ticketing and marketing land. So I handle, it's such a weird position. It's box office. So all the ticketing for the events, arena manifests, that kind of thing. But then I do the marketing for the events too.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's a regular 9 to 5, but I tracked it, and it was like 141 events that I worked last year on top of the 9 to 5. So it doesn't leave a lot of space or time to have a band. So if I even wanted to form a band, it's like you can't get into a band with this idea like, well, we really can't play because I don't know when I'm working.
Right.
And that's where the solo acoustic thing came in. It's like, well, I can do this when I know that I can do this.
Yeah.
It's
just rely on your schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I Brad, it's been interesting talking with you. This is usually primarily music, not so much interview, but it came across my radar, and I was like, Brad, you're sort of the beginning of this program with you and Marla here during the Sand Jam and Live LIXX. So I thought we'd stretch it out and find out what you're really up to and what's really going on in the world of Brad Cox. Check this guy out. He's interesting. He's informative. I think you should have a class at the college where you teach up-and-coming creatives how to do, because you're doing all the pieces.
Yeah.
And how to do it all, and I think you could help people get where they want to go.
I think the underlying thing in all of it is it's all hard. If you want to do it, be willing to be bad and grow through that. And then you'll get to a place where it's like, no, you're really good now. Or, and that's with everything. I think if you want to write a book, it's going to be hard. It's going to be really, really hard.
Yeah.
And just accept that maybe your first book is going to be your first book.
Yeah.
So I tell people when they buy the books, I'm like, well, you got to buy the second and third one. You got to buy all three of them.
It's my godfather's a pretty accomplished author, and it's funny because I read all his books, and the early ones compared to the ones he writes now,
you can tell.
you can see the difference. Yeah,
you learn your own process.
Yep.
Here he is, Brad Cox. You're listening to Live LIXX right here on Ocean 98.
All right.
I saw you on a corner, your eyes are full of wonder. Did you want a preacher take me for a ride? Your eyes were kind of bloodshot like you're running from a mugshot of your high or think that I'm Jesus Christ. She told me God still lives inside her, but her heart ain't getting wiser. She's talking but don't get no reply. If you want to save yourself, then I'll drive you back to heaven. No one's coming back for your life. No, 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 when the sun goes down. She said, live like it's the end of the world. I said, what's your name? She says, don't go falling in love. Hello, my name's rock and roll. It's rock and roll. It's rock and roll. It's only rock and roll. Bloodstains cover my sheets of dream. I met in White Lake, she smiled and said, go on, let it bleed. I was so transparent, cause you gave up on your pants. Ain't telling everybody for free. You put an ad into the paper, you're looking for a savior. Don't dare you say that I'm selling cheap. But the world is just a sales pitch, there's more to life than all this and tomorrow you'll forget about me. No, 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 when the sun goes down, she said, live like it's the end of the world. I said, what's your name? She said, don't go falling in love. When the walls fall down, she said, fight like you can never go home. I said, what's your name? She said, a hustler knows when to fold. Hello, my name's rock and roll. Good love will take you away. And sometimes you don't get it for free. Your good, good love will drive you insane. But I'd rather be a rambling man than forget a name. When the sun goes down, she said, live like it's the end of the world. I said, what's your name? She said, don't go falling in love. When the walls fall down, she said, fight like you can never go home. I said, what's your name? She said, a hustler knows when to fold. Hello, my name's Rockin' Roll. Thank you, guys.
I didn't sneeze on top of that song. That's Brad Cox. Check him out online, BradWilliamCox.com. You can find him on social media, Brad W. Cox. He's the one that works at the college. Like and follow him. Listen to his music. Look for him playing here in Ocean City, and buy his books. I bet you they're super interesting.